It looks like Three Jokers is finally officially going to happen. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you've been here before, and if you haven't, then welcome for the first time. Before we get started, I just want to preface this video by saying, one, I didn't actually anticipate on making this video. I figured I would just let it go. But my most successful video, by far, was the first video I did on Three Jokers, so I figured I might as well try it out. I am trying to get up to 200 subscribers by the end of June this year, so I would really appreciate if you clicked the thingies, you know, the thingies, and I figured this might be a good way to help that out. I don't know, maybe I'm just shilling, that's definitely what I'm just doing, but I also, had some things that I wanted to say about this. Anyway, back to the actual legitimate topic at hand, Three Jokers by Geoff Johns and Jason Fabok. So, it's finally announced that it will debut on June 17th of 2020. This is after 4 years of waiting for this story, since it was first teased in Justice League The Darkseid War back in 2016, before the DC Rebirth Initiative even started off. At the time, it seemed like it would be a huge mystery that would engulf the entirety of the DC Universe and would change it forever, but since then there's been next to nothing in terms of news. Until now, when we have an official release date for the first issue. And to say I'm excited is, underselling it, because I've been waiting a long time for this. I've been waiting since Justice League issue number 50 back in 2016 came out and first teased this idea. I've been excited since they officially announced the series, announced the series, back in 2018. So, the fact that it's finally coming out is really exciting. And so far, we don't know all that much. So far, there's not really all that much to talk about, because it's just been announced officially for the first time. But I'm kind of wondering how this is going to go down. Now, this all kind of stems from the fact that Batman should realize that it's not the same guy that he's been fighting, right? If 1 minute he's fighting, Joker number 1, and then they switch out and all of a sudden Joker number 2 comes in, Batman should be able to tell, right? He should tell that it's not the same guy. It's the world's greatest detective we're talking about. This isn't something that's just going to slip by him. So are we thinking about literal Three Jokers, or is it like some sort of mental manifestation of 3 different distinct personalities within the singular Joker? This idea had kind of been brought up during Grant Morrison's run on Batman, where it's talked about how the Joker sort of reinvents himself every once in a while. That's why some days he's just the, happy-go-lucky prankster clown who's just, bothering Gotham for fun, and then some days he's just beating kids with crowbars. But then again, in DC Rebirth issue number 1, as written by Geoff Johns, there is confirmation that the Joker exists in 2 places at once. There is a physical representation of there being more than 3 Jokers. So it can't just be a mental thing, because it's there physically. So how does this work out? What is going on? Why hasn't Batman noticed this before? It doesn't make any sense. Well, at first I thought maybe it had something to do with Dr. Manhattan. Now, obviously, the whole Three Jokers thing was first revealed right around the time of Rebirth, and Dr. Manhattan played a major role in Rebirth. So I thought, yeah, this is a logical step. This is something that Geoff Johns was working at the time. He was developing the story of Dr. Manhattan. Now things have changed. Doomsday Clock has finished, and the Dr. Manhattan story seems to be wrapping up, or at least evolving into the next stage, so it doesn't necessarily make as much sense, but it could just be a past thing, or maybe things have changed, and Dr. Manhattan is still manipulating it in some way, or it's something from the past. I don't know. It could work, though. And there's kind of hints that maybe Dr. Manhattan had something to do with it. When Batman first sits down in the Mobius chair, there's these weird blue sparks that aren't generally associated with it, and blue energy is definitely associated with Dr. Manhattan. So there is that potential. However, Johns also said back in 2018, it's not about other dimensions or other Earths. It's a very grounded, emotional story. So that's hard to reconcile. If it's about Dr. Manhattan and manipulating time and the multiverse, then that's not really super grounded, and it would be about other dimensions and other Earths. So how does this work? Where is this coming from? Clearly it's not just a mental thing. Clearly the three Jokers exist. But Batman has never noticed before. No one has ever noticed before. And yet it's not going to be about time travel or multiple Earths. It's going to be this supposedly realistic thing. So how does this all work? Where is it coming from? Where did the three Jokers come from? Maybe they're clones. Are they going to be clones? I hope they're not clones. Please tell me we're not going to get Joker the Clone Saga. But I don't know what else the answer is. Maybe it's got something to do with Dionysium or whatever it is from Scott Snyder's Batman. But that's not Jeff Johns, that's Scott Snyder. And Scott Snyder seems to be the only one dealing with that. But maybe that was sort of the plan going into Rebirth so that they could utilize some of Scott Snyder's stuff and some of Jeff Johns' stuff, and then eventually everything just started to fall apart. I don't know. Ultimately, I don't know anything. But I do know that from some of the art that has been released, we're finally getting the Batman costume from Doomsday Clock, so that's cool. Looks like it's supposed to be setting up the DC Universe to get to the place where it is in Doomsday Clock. I don't know. It also kind of has a similar panel grid, especially the first page, which has the iconic 9-panel grid. So maybe it does tie into Watchmen a little bit more, because visually it is very reminiscent of it, so maybe it does have something to do with Dr. Manhattan. I don't know. And then with the whole 5G thing coming up, well, maybe it won't matter in a few months and everything will just get rebooted anyway, or maybe Joker is like different remnants from previous reboots, like for whatever reason Dr. Manhattan like left him behind and he kind of just stuck around, so there's like pre-Crisis Joker and pre-Flashpoint Joker and then New 52 Joker. I don't know. I'm kind of just rambling at this point. Either way, I'm really excited for this story, and as weird as it might seem, as weird as this could get, and as out of hand as it could get, I'm really excited for it. And I'm really curious to see where this is going, and hopefully it ends up going well. Anyway, that's all for today. As I said before, trying to get to 200 subscribers by the end of June, so if you could click the red thingy down below, I'd greatly appreciate that. And then, sound off in the comments about what you think is going on with the three Jokers. Who you think the three Jokers are. Maybe one of them is Alfred. Oh, that would be weird. That happened in a Neil Gaiman story. That's besides the point. Anyway, that's all for today. Have a great day, everybody, and goodbye.